so strong that when he brought the message to his people, they knew right away what he was saying. The translation to English is really bad if you say that Muhammad went to his people and said, God is one. He didn't say that. If you said he went to his people and he told them Allah is God, some translators say it means he told them Allah is God. That would not have bothered them at all, because in Arabic they were already using that word. They used it. They knew the word Allah. That wasn't the problem. It's the phrase that he used in Arabic that blew him away, because he said, La ilaha illallah. La means no. Ilaha is something to worship. Illah means with the exception of Allah. And they knew it meant you can't worship anything at all, nothing at all, except the only one worthy to be worshipped, who is not like his creation in any way, shape, or form. He's so unique. He's not a he, he's not a she, and he's never plural. There's nothing like unto him. The name is so powerful, and the description in the Quran, Laysa kamithlihi shay'un. There isn't anything like him. And Allah said in the Quran, وَلَمْ يَكُلُّهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. He's so unique, nothing like him, and he is ahad, from the root wahid, which means one. He's so uniquely one, ahad, there's no two coming after it. You know who we're talking about, don't you? We all know who that is, don't we? Even the Hindus know exactly who I'm talking about. I rode over here from Mumbai, which used to be Bombay, but they didn't like the bombs anymore, so they became mums. That's okay, Mumbai. I like that joke. They laugh at that joke. When I was coming over here, riding in the airplane, sitting next to me was the kindest, sweetest gentleman. I mean it sincerely. And I identified myself to him. He was so kind. His name is Shiva. He's Hindu. And I didn't tell him anything about religion. I'll just talk to him about traveling, about, you know, what do you do? He's the president of the bank here in Bangalore. President of the bank. He told me God is one. I said, yep, we got no problem with that. He said, there's no other God except God. I said, that's right. He said, there could only be one God. I said, yep, I'm with you. Should I argue with him? No. He said, regardless of what some people say, there's really only one God. I said, you're right. Some people might say, well, that statement's enough to go to Jannah. Is it? Is it? I'm going to ask you a question. If the Hindus know there's only one real God, the main God, right? And we know there's really only one God, Allah. Christians say, well, really, there's only one God. Most of them. Some, like, I don't want to mention any names. I'm not going to say Benny Hinn or something like that, because that'd be wrong. Oh, Sheikh, I slipped. Anyhow, they will tell you that God is one, but he's three, and he got a Father, got a Son, got a Holy Ghost, got all this stuff going on, but whatever. They still say he's one. The Jewish say God is one. So many people said God is one, right? But is that enough? Even if you knew La ilaha illallah, is that enough? No. I want you to go back and think about what Sheikh said last night. He differentiated between the word iman and knowledge. Having iman or conviction in something as opposed to just knowing about it. If you know the traffic light is red, will that save you from a traffic accident if you drive through it anyway? Huh? The light is red, and you said, yes, if the light is red, I know it's red, and I'm going to drive through it anyway. What will happen? In fact, here in Bangalore, you could probably get run over in a green light. I don't know. But my point is, just knowing that Allah is one, how is that going to help you? How many of you believe there really is a devil? There is a shaitan. You believe it? You believe it? Okay. Does shaitan know that there is a God? Of course he does. Does he know Allah is one? Yeah. Does he know about Islam? Probably better than I do. But does he do it? Nope. And that's the real problem. As we say in Texas, where I'm from, that's where the rubber meets the pavement. That's where the friction starts, right there. We can say a lot, but it doesn't count until we find out what we're doing about what we say. You are not a Muslim until you Islam. So now you've had it exposed to you. Who is Allah? The only one to be worshipped. What is Islam? The proper way to have a relationship with Him and surrender, submission, obedience, sincerity, and peace. And who are the Muslims? The ones who do it. So I pray to the only one that I'm going to pray to and ask Him to make all of us recognize that and submit to Him on those terms. Ameen. You're supposed to say Ameen. Don't you watch TV or something? That's what they do on TV like that. Ameen. Ameen. Okay. Anyway, now I'm going to shift gears a little bit. That's the end of my program. Now I'm going to shift gears a little bit. I'm going to tell you a quick story and I'm done. The story goes like this. There was a man who was a great scientist, but he was a little strange. He didn't like to travel in airplanes. He was afraid of airplanes, and he didn't like trains. He liked his own car. And he used to have to go to many universities and lecture. So he got a driver, and the driver would take him to all these places to give his lectures. And every place he went, he was the top person in his field, in some kind of nuclear biology, physics, something, I don't know. But everywhere he went, people were amazed. But he always gave the same lecture. He started with the same word and ended with the same word every time, like a book. Never deviated a single word. So one day when he was riding along in the car, his driver started saying his whole lecture, the whole thing, all the way through. He said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm trying to keep awake, so I'm saying your lecture." He said, "You know my whole lecture?" He said, "Yes, I know everything in your lecture." He said, "I can't believe it. Let me hear you say it again." He said the whole lecture again. He said, "Wow." He said, "You know what? I'm shy. I don't like to go in front of the people, and I'm tired. I just want to relax. You go do my lecture when we get there." He said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, I trade hats with you. You give me your cap. You take my professor cap, and when we get there, they don't know what I look like. You just go up there and give the speech." He said, "Yeah, why not? I can do it." Then he said, "Oh, wait, whoa. I forgot one thing. The questions that come afterwards. There's always questions." The driver started laughing. He said, "Sir, they never ask you any question except what they asked last time. It's always the same question. I guarantee you I know the question. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one." He named all the questions and he named all the answers. He said, "You're right." He said, "You know what? That's what we're going to do." So when they got to the place, the professor's driving the car. The driver's in the back. When they got there, opened the door, they took him out right away. They took him up to the stage and put him up there. And he started giving the lecture. And then people said, "Oh my gosh, listen to this man. Wow, you know?" And then when it was all over, they did a question and answer. They go to the microphone, blah, 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 When it's all over, one lady stood up. And she said, "I would like to ask a question." And she asked a question nobody ever asked before. And the driver is standing there looking at her. And the professor's sitting in the back and he's smiling because he wants to see what the driver's going to do now. So the driver looked at the lady. He said, "Madam, that is a stupid question. That is so stupid, I'm going to let my driver answer it." And with that, I'd like to introduce my driver. This is Dr. Jafar Sheikh Idris.